have a motion for approval of accounts payable.
I make a motion that we approve accounts payable in the amount of $91,924.20 according to state law.
Is there a second to that?
I second, Mr. Chair.
Second, any comments regarding the accounts payable?
Yeah, I do want to know how we stand as far as our monies are concerned, whether or not we've, I know we can handle it because of the loan amount, but I want to know how we stand.
We're sitting right now around 1.2 million.
Mr. Chairman, on page
Commissioner?
page 9, Mr. Dillon Foster. I would like for the attorney, I know we're getting very close to that time capsule, so that we wouldn't run over that time capsule. That means that the defects bill down there will be turned over to Mr. Foster for $1 if we doesn't send him a letter within 30 days' time saying that we accept it. And we need to know exactly when do that contract run out, because it's getting around that time.
Good point, Commissioner Bryant. We've got the contract and all that's in the office. We look at it, we keep that date before us, and we'll look at it continually, look at it again to make sure. We got several years yet, but it's still important that we make sure that we get it done.
Let me have it. You know where I'll stop by tomorrow and get a copy of that contract.
It's in the office, and certainly it's something.
But see, I don't know where that in the office, so
Okay.
let someone in the office get it for me, please. And check register, wherein that on page 1, wherein that you have Commissioner Sampson, Commissioner Bryan, and Commissioner Epps to have our checks and stuff posted here. What about the chairman and the vice chairman? I don't see that they are posted in here.
Mr. Bryant, any checks for the chair has been foregone since October. And you won't see one for the following months until all the money is reconciled that was identified as a payment. So I don't know and I do know that the other commissioners that you don't see there are doing the same thing. So that's where that stands. But check register, is there anything specifically about it that other than that? The other item up there, the emergency communications, Glenn, that was the installation of the generator for the 911. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Miss Francis still $35. What is that for?
I have no idea unless we peel it back. The information's not here before us. It must be some
It was travel check, I believe.
travel.
Travel check. From where?
I would have to see.
Okay.
No further questions. I call the question and motion. Those in favor, let me know. Raise your right hand, please.
That's thing, Mr. Chairman.
And you have requisitions. Through 6. I have a motion for requisitions. Is there a second?
Second.
Call the question and motion, those in favor, let me know where you, in discussion regarding the requisition. Hearing none, I call the question and motion, those in favor, let me know where you raise your hand, please. Thank you. Moving to our appointments this evening, first we have Mr. Gene Long. Mr. Long, would you come up, sir?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen of the board.
Good to see you again, sir.
Good to see y'all again. Gene Long from Nature Chem. I'll stand over here.
Be fine, you were.
I believe if y'all recall, I was here a couple of months ago talking about spraying and for roadsides in order to save you money. Got with Danny, Danny Sanders, and got the exactly how many miles of paved and dirt road that you have. And so got some hard numbers to present to you tonight. Remind you that basically what I was talking about was herbicide spraying on the roadside, something similar to state DOT does, to cut back the amount of mowings that you're doing. I never did get exactly, but I think Danny said they were probably mowing 2-3 times a year on the paved roads, and constantly mowing on the dirt roads. And we're doing several counties around y'all, Bleckley and Pulaski, Houston, and whatnot. Came up with 190 miles of paved road that you have. Again, you're probably mowing it 2-3 times or more a year, and if you're doing 2 or 3, we can save you some money. That 190, what we do is cut you to 1 mowing in the fall. We do 2 sprayings. One now, pretty soon, the first application. The price was $40 per mile. That includes 15 feet on both sides of the road. So that'd be $20 per side. So one application now would cost you, I think it was about $7,600. Okay, and then you do a second one probably middle of the summer, and the total on that would be about $15,000. And if you think about it, you're probably paying that much, but in repairs, fuel, and everything. You keep the mowers off. He just mows one time. We're going to keep the grass down into a height of yay high or lower. Okay. That was 190 miles paved roads. That's the paved road program. The dirt roads, I think we came up with about 107 miles. Again, we're doing the brush and the grass and everything on the side, so you wouldn't have to use that side-on mower. We're trying to cut back on your mechanical mowing. The price on that would be $100 per mile. That includes both sides of the road, and basically you could shut down that side-on mower. It wouldn't have to mow. So you're looking at, I believe, round numbers around $10,000 on the dirt road. Now that is something that comes later, probably April, May, June, summer, whatever, and can get with and talk to. Got a little bit of time to discuss that. That'd be all your paved roads, and basically you can take the mowers off. You would still need to mow one time in the fall. Basically, you got your roads cleaned up now on the paved roads I'm talking about, and then mow. So that's the critical thing that's coming up is the first application of $7,600.
When did you say it was normally applied?
Well, I mean, we started back in January, February, and did Bleckley and some of those, and we're still applying it now. We're working around the weather, but you've got time now. The sooner the better. Basically, what you got coming up now is your annual ryegrass and some weeds and stuff like that. So the sooner we can put out a pre-emergence and keep that from coming up, just the better off you're going to be, because we keep having these 70, 80 degree weather, and the nighttime temperatures warm up 65 and above. It's going to go to growing to beat the band. So ideally, I mean, you'd want to get it out in the next 30, 45 days at the very latest for that first application on the paved road. We bill you per application and go from there. Stand behind it and guarantee it. I don't know, Danny's not here to see it, is he? I tried to get in touch with him. I don't know if any of you touched base with him, but I sent proposals to him, and those are kind of some round numbers. So,
One of the things would be spraying the roads of that nature. How do you avoid shrubs or other personal properties that might be affiliated with those roads? Are you able to avoid those type of damage to those?
Yes, sir. Basically, we have a truck with a sprayer that's out on the side, a boomless type thing. And when we come along homeowners' lawns, again, the max we're going to spray is out from the edge of the pavement out 15 feet. Okay. Some of your right-of-ways might be a little bit wider. Some that might cover it, and some might be less. But if my experience has been, you keep that 15 feet down, that keeps everybody happy. On right-hand curves and intersections, we'll go out there a little bit farther. If homeowners are maintaining And it's obvious to us. We can tell the difference between what's been bush hog and if they're, most folks with a few weeks of nice weather probably pulled their mowers out. So we skip in front of that. You might have a few rare occasions, but I mean that's your right of way right there. So rarely as people plant something on the right of way. So when we get close to their house, we'll shut it off. We'll stand responsible for it and behind it if an accident does happen, but it happens rarely on occasions. But nobody's perfect. But in 23 years, I've been doing this. We don't. We err on the side that if there's any doubt in our mind that people are maintaining it, we turn it off. In front of houses, farms, businesses, whatever. And most of these are probably your rural roads, the 190 miles, and I think we pretty much, stay out of subdivisions and things like that.
On the dirt road, you said you do it one time?
One time a year, yes, sir. And with that price and everything, that's basically once a year. And you would, be honest with you, cut out your sidearm mowing on that. We're just going to burn that brush. Most of the time, sometimes on your dirt roads, you might have a prescriptive right of way. In other words, it's just kind of ditch to ditch, and that's all we're trying to do is keep stuff in from encroaching in on the ditch. It doesn't kill the entire tree. We're just burning the foliage. We're using herbicides like Roundup at lower rates, and everybody's familiar with Roundup and uses Roundup place and everything. So,
well, it's good. We appreciate you giving us the figures, and of course we can work with that on cost assessment, how we offset that, and
all right.
and go with this. Who are the other communities you say that are around us that are doing this?
Bleckley County.
Bleckley.
Yes, sir. This is their first year, and I rode around through Bleckley before I came over here, and you can already tell it. It's kind of difficult to tell unless you're looking close, because we sprayed it about a month ago, and everything was still brown. But basically, you'll see the brown areas and everything else outside of that starting to green up. Pulaski, we've been contracting with them about 3 or 4 years. Houston County, I've been doing business with them about 23 years. So, trying to think here close by here with you. Greene County up north, Oconee County. I'm just giving you the folks here close.
Certainly, those are things that would help in terms of understanding and seeing the benefit of it and all.
Right, and like I said, you could take a look at Bleckley on some of it. As a matter of fact, kind of give you a hint, I noticed 96 coming off the interstate, coming into town. State route, the state has already sprayed a little bit. You can see a little yellowing of the grass and everything. Again, we're not trying to kill it, we're just trying to stunt the growth of it. So that it cut back and we keep it at overall height instead of it getting in between your mowings up this high, at about Bermuda grass height.
Yeah, I've noticed the state is doing quite a bit of it
Right.
in different areas of spraying the roads and see.
Everybody's tightened their budgets, got a tight budget and whatnot and everything, so they're trying to do everything they can do to save money. And it costs you money. You're going to have your people and your tractors. Eventually, you'll save wear and tear on those tractors. You can use people with other things. But the money that we're talking about, excuse me, when you look at it, probably you're spending that much on fuel and repairs. It looks like fuel is just keep going up and up.
Well, good. Thank you, sir. Does anybody have any other questions, Mr. Long?
One more. I've got it right now. It's $40 a mile for paved, $100 a mile for unpaved.
That's correct.
You're using a stronger herbicide for the unpaved.
That's
and
correct.
That's the difference in the cost.
That's the difference in the cost, the main thing. And we're only doing one application versus two on the paved roads. So we're going a little bit higher rate where we're trying to kill some of that brush and burn it and everything without killing the trees. So that's why the cost is a little bit higher on that.